the Edmonton Oilers. A bit of a breakthrough year for the Oil last year, 104 points. They lost in the third round to the Avalanche, 4-0. They're 16-1 to win the Stanley Cup this year. They brought in a new goaltender, Jack Campbell. I also brought in Matthias Janmark. They said bye to Duncan Keith, who retired, Mike Smith, who was on long-term injury reserve, and Zach Kassian, all parted ways. Let's see. Campbell is the big ad for this team right here, Biz, that reached the first conference final in 16 years last year. Then they went and extended Evander Kane to ensure a pretty potent top six. The big question right now is how do they become cap compliant? There's still $7.5 million over the cap. You know, they can long-term injury reserve Smith, as I mentioned, and Clefbaum. That's still going to need another move or two after that. But Whit, I know we just went to you first, but you're a former defenseman for this team. Is this top four on D good enough to win a cup with?
Yeah, how are they getting out of the cap? Jock sniffer.
I'm not too worried about getting out of the cap. You always hire some math genius to figure that part out. And even though I'm a math guy, I don't have to worry about that. I know that after last season, and yes, the haters are, you got swept. You didn't even sniff winning a game against Colorado. I don't care. Last season is what had to happen. They had to have a little success in the postseason. They felt it. They realized what it took to get there. And they were battling a bunch of injuries, as every team is, but they were. And now to solidify the goaltending, and it's tough because I was all over Jack Campbell when he was a Leaf. He was walking his cat on the side of the road, and I said, Jesus Christ, how are you supposed to win a Stanley Cup with this guy? I've changed my tune. I have completely changed my tune. This is a goalie who has proven to be a number one goalie. And Mike Smith's awesome, hell of a career. But, I mean, last year it just wasn't good enough. Koskinen, I couldn't stand when he was playing. And now you have a guy, not to mention Skinner as the backup, who could play a role, right? I mean, hopefully Campbell's able to play healthy, but he can't play every game. Skinner's going to have a big impact. He can play. Broberg on D is a young kid. The D is not their strong suit. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows it. But this Evan Bouchard is going to get better and better. And this season, I think you're going to see a monster. I was reading even that the other night he played in preseason. Barry didn't play. And so he was on the number one power play unit, snapping it around. And Woodcroft mentioned after, it's not even a done deal that Barry's going to be on that first unit. It could be Bouchard. Has a rocket of a shot from the point, can dish it around, skates well. And that with Nurse, and everyone says Nurse is overpaid. Well, still, dude, he's an animal to play against. And yeah, he's not going to probably get you 60 points, but he's a prick out there. And he could skate as well as most D-men in the league, as well as the high-end skaters. That guy can do it. So I haven't even mentioned McDavid and Draisaitl, which will obviously keep us in the hunt all year long. We're going to win this division. We're going to probably go to the Western Conference Final again. And this time we might end up somehow shocking the world and going to the Stanley Cup Final. This is Connor McDavid. This is the guy that every single year somehow he's doing more and more and more. And now this is the prime years, dude. This is the time. And you saw the passion and the hunger in the playoffs. He was so good. Imagine him now, how fired up he is to get this year going. Leon's healthy again. Puljujärvi is a big player for them. If that guy could take that step, I know I keep saying it. I feel like
Bison man.
Oh, Bison man. I mean, I can go on and on with this team. Yamamoto, I could see him breaking out.
You mentioned injuries, right, Whit? And Yamamoto and Nurse. Well, Yamamoto didn't even play. Nurse was his groin was hanging on by a fucking thread in last year's playoffs. So I agree with you, man. I'm a little scared by these guys. They're still the second best team in the division. They ain't the best team in the division. They addressed the goaltending. They're going to be tough. They're going to be a tough out in the second round for the Battle of Alberta. But this year's the Flames year. But as far as everything they did in the offseason, they addressed what they had to. And I agree with mostly everything you said. Other than the fact that you're a liar. And last year you said that Campbell wasn't a number one goalie.
I know, but then he became the goalie of my team.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
And I got the blinders on. I got the Oilers blinders and the pom-poms going.
So, Merles, did the Oilers make it to the third round or even beyond this season or what?
I'm hoping. I left a few Bellini beers at the Cactus Club on drunk last year. I need to go up there again and get a few more of those. And I think McDavid tasted it. He found that next level. He knows what it takes now. They're going to beat the Flames again if it's the Flames, Biz.
100% they will. And Hyman was sick. And listen, Do you remember McLeod in the playoffs, how good that kid looked?
Yeah.
He's going to get more chances. He's going to get more minutes. This team.
What about this other kid, Holloway or something? Isn't he a first-round starter?
Holloway. I think he played at Wisconsin. He's got a chance to make the team. I don't know exactly what's going on in camp right now. I don't know. I know they got some young guys really fighting for jobs. I don't know if right now he would be in the lineup. I should probably know that. But I do know that they're exactly where they need to be, and they are fired up to get this thing going. So the Oilers, legitimate cup contenders. If you're going to name 10 teams in the league who could win the cup, they're on the list.
100% they're on the list. How does this cap circumcision work?
I actually have no idea.
They got $7.5 million to get rid of. I mean,
I know.
The only logical thing I could think of is Evander got to gamble it away. That's the only logical answer I have. I'm not a capologist. I'm not a rocket Scientologist over here. He could lose that in a blackjack table in one night, that guy.